In my last video, I talked about some ways that forcing yourself to play that femininity game can actually work against your goal of creating love that lasts for a lifetime. But here is what I wasn't saying. I wasn't saying that being a woman isn't the most awesome, brilliant lot of win in the universe. Like, I really like being a woman, and I love what women stand for. I love what women accomplish. I love our differences from men, and I am so grateful that I get to be a woman in this lifetime. And it's because I celebrate women that I don't want to see that word femininity used to keep us playing small. Anytime anyone tells you that you're not feminine enough, they are trying to make you feel inadequate in order to sell you something. And we're having none of that here at Your Brilliance. You are a woman and you already embody everything it is that makes women so absolutely amazing. All you have to do is realize it. In this video, I am going to celebrate everything you do as a woman that you take for granted. You may not realize how incredible your body is or how incredible your heart is, the incredible power you possess simply by being a woman. It far outstrips the fake gifts of femininity. So stay tuned. The internet is full of advice on how to be a more feminine woman. You should sit back and let him chase you. You should express your physicality and your sensuality. You should be receptive and surrender. You should be soft and gentle. You should take long baths and wear flowing gowns. You should take care of your appearance. You should be playful, but never compete with him. And you should always make sure that he knows he's the man. Now, you could do all of these things, but be very clear about what you're doing. You are performing femininity for the purpose of getting a guy. You are molding yourself to a certain stereotype because you've been told that that's what men want. This is what I call fake femininity. It's a performance. It's a means to an end. And it can be a very effective strategy to catch men's attention, but all it gives you is power over men. It doesn't make you strong. It doesn't unleash your gifts. And it pales in comparison to the power you already have as a woman. True femininity is different. Although, to be honest, I'm only using that word because it's the word that pops up when I type things into the search engine. So let's not use the word femininity. Let's find something else that doesn't have as much baggage. How about this? Real womanhood is different. Real womanhood is when you fully embody who you are as a woman in every respect. As a woman, you are powerful. You are a miracle, and you use what's inside of you to lift up the world. Here's how real womanhood compares to fake femininity. Number one, fake femininity is power over men. Real womanhood is the power to help and heal. The incredible storyteller Annette Simmons recently released her 5th book called Drinking from a Different Well: How Women's Stories Change What Power Means in Action. Annette went around collecting stories that men and women tell about power, and she compared them to see if there were any differences between how men see power and how women see power. And she found that men tend to see power in competitive terms. So they talk about winning and beating the competition and coming out on top. More power for others meant less power for themselves. Women were more likely to see power in collaborative terms. So they discussed the way they use their power, or just discovered their power, to help others, to protect the vulnerable, and to build community. I was reminded of one of my old college textbooks, Carol Gilligan's In a Different Voice. Gilligan was one of the first to suggest that women make moral decisions in a different way to men. So women tend to look at how relationships and people are impacted by their decisions rather than relying on these abstract moral principles. This ethics of care is characteristic of us women. We tend to feel concerned about the way that people and communities and our world are affected, not just the bottom line. Now, none of this is to say that individual men never feel that way too. We're talking about gender here in very broad brushstrokes. But if you care a lot about people and you think about how our actions today affect the world we live in, you may have never realized that that's one of your superpowers as a woman. Every time you see someone who's struggling, every time you speak up for somebody who can't speak for themselves, every time you introduce ethical concerns into the decision-making process, you are standing in your true feminine strength. Number 2, fake femininity is how you look. Real womanhood is the miracle of your body. So much advice for women focuses on our appearance. So if we want to be more feminine, then we should wear dresses and we should put on heels and we should wear makeup and we should get a blowout and we should show some cleavage or some legs, but never both. I'm sorry, but women's bodies have been policed enough. Your essence as a woman does not lie in how you look. It resides in this extraordinary body that you have been given the gift of inhabiting for this lifetime. Let's just take one example. Boobs. Cleavage is a very clear sign of femininity, right? The bigger, the better. And if you want to be a feminine woman, then you'd better play those babies up. But the point of boobs is not to turn on men. Like, that's not why we have them. The point of boobs is to feed babies. And for me, that's a lot more incredible than how the girls look in a bra. The fact that these basically 2 lumps of fat, right, can create milk that changes in consistency based on a baby's needs. I don't know, for me, that's mind-blowing. Like, your body can do that. It's built with these miraculous powers that men can't even dream of. So the fact that a guy can look at your body and feel turned on, that's small change. Number 3, fake femininity is having all eyes on you, and real womanhood is the actions you take and the impact you make. Back in college, I did this project on drag kings, and I learned that apparently masculinity is a lot harder to perform than femininity. Now, drag queens are masters at performing femininity, right? They are more feminine than most women. They get dressed up, they put on their high heels, they put on sparkly makeup, and they sashay down the street like everyone is watching, because of course they are. Performing masculinity is apparently more difficult because the very same artifice that feminizes the drag queen makes the drag king look camp, and masculinity should look natural. So a drag king who wants to pass learns to be understated. So less is more, and it's about taking up space. Doing that project made me think about the ways that I perform femininity. Like, I feel expected to dress up whenever I go out. I put on earrings and lipstick and a bright coat. I don't just throw a sweatshirt on over my leggings. Do I really think that I am letting people down if I don't walk out of my house looking put together? Well, I know where I got that idea. I grew up during a time when there was still this idea that you always had to put on your nice underwear when you went out in case you got into a car accident. Is this idea that people have the right to look at you and to judge you based on how you comport yourself and to decide whether you measure up as a woman. Guys just get a B, but girls have to always be performing for the camera. It was wonderful when I finally got to that stage in my life where I had been so many places and I had done so many things that I knew I was so much more than what people saw. I had worlds inside of me, right? I had lived through so much. And now I know that the only thing left after we leave this world is the way we affected others. It's the memories they have of us and the stories they tell of us and the impact we made on their lives. So let's keep our focus on what matters. Let's do what women do best. Let's get out there and make a difference in the world. Let's celebrate this gift we've been given, and let's live bold and proud. Because all of those people telling you to be more feminine and wear dresses and smile and be polite, They want you in a box. It's the same box they've chosen to live in, and it doesn't fit you anymore. So stay strong, stay proud, stay brilliant, and I love you all.